Cleveland Browns add new quarterback to room with Dillon Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders. The Cleveland Browns remain active in the quarterback market once more this offseason, signing veteran passer Bailey Zappe to the practice squad. This come just over a week after the Browns named Joe Flacco their starting quarterback and days after they traded Kenny Pickett, released Tyler Huntley, and named former Oregon Ducks standout Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders the number 2 and 3 quarterbacks, respectively, on the depth chart. Zappe has been in the NFL for 3 seasons after being drafted in the 4th round out of Western Kentucky in 2022, spending the first 2 with the New England Patriots and starting a game last season for Cleveland. Facing the Baltimore Ravens in Week 18, Zappe completed 16 of 31 passes for 170 yards with 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. The move provides another veteran presence in the quarterback room for the Browns as they enter the season with 2 rookies, Gabriel and Sanders, behind the 40-year-old Flacco. The Cleveland Browns quarterback room was already one of the most unusual in the NFL. A 39-year-old Joe Flacco, fresh off a storybook run, still commanded the respect of the locker room. Behind him, 2 rookies were fighting for their place in Cleveland's future. Dillon Gabriel, the smooth lefty from Oklahoma, and Shedeur Sanders, son of prime time, carrying both the spotlight and the burden of expectation. But on a humid Monday morning in Berea, the Browns facility buzzed with whispers. A new face was coming. Another quarterback. Chapter 1, The Arrival. General Manager Andrew Berry addressed the media first. We've decided to add another quarterback to the roster to increase competition and depth. We believe this player has unique traits that fit what we're building here in Cleveland. Reporters leaned forward. Was it a veteran? A journeyman backup? The door opened, and in walked Adrian Torres, an undrafted rookie free agent from a small Division II school in Texas. 6'5", rocket arm, raw as uncut stone. Nobody outside of draft circles had even whispered his name. Shedeur raised an eyebrow when he saw the newcomer. Dillon Gabriel smirked. Flacco, the eternal elder statesman, simply nodded like he'd seen 1,000 of these stories before. Another one, Shedeur muttered under his breath. Chapter 2, First Impressions. Torres entered the quarterback room that afternoon with the kind of quiet confidence that made people take notice. He sat down at the back of the room, notebook in hand, scribbling furiously as Stefanski diagrammed protections on the whiteboard. Shedeur leaned toward Gabriel. Bro looks like he's cramming for finals. Gabriel chuckled. He'll learn fast or he won't last long. When practice rolled around, Torres took his first reps during scout team. The ball exploded out of his hand, an effortless cannon shot downfield that turned heads instantly. The velocity drew gasps from teammates. Even Shedeur, who prided himself on precision, had to nod. Okay, kid, he said. You got an arm. But can you play? Chapter 3, Tension Builds. Competition sharpened. Gabriel's smooth release and veteran-like poise contrasted with Shedeur's swagger and command of the huddle. Now Torres added raw power, firing throws that zipped through defenders' hands like bullets. The media pounced immediately. Brown's QB room gets crowded. Who's the odd man out? Shedeur versus Gabriel versus Torres, a battle for the future. Flacco's kids, Cleveland's QB Hunger Games. Every drill became a showcase. When Shedeur threaded a needle into tight coverage, Torres countered with a 70-yard bomb. When Gabriel flawlessly executed Stefanski's timing concepts, Shedeur checked into his own play and completed a sideline strike. What started as professional competition began to feel like personal rivalry. Chapter 4, Stefanski's Balancing Act. Kevin Stefanski knew the danger. Quarterback rooms could be fragile ecosystems. Too much ego, too much tension, and the foundation cracked. But Stefanski also believed in competition sharpening steel. In team meetings, he reminded them, the best quarterback will play. Period. But iron sharpens iron, and you 3 will make each other better. Don't fear the competition, embrace it. Behind closed doors, though, Stefanski wrestled with the truth. Only one of them could realistically be the long-term answer in Cleveland. Chapter 5, The Turning Point. It came during a joint practice with the New York Jets. Torres was struggling, throwing behind receivers and getting picked off. Gabriel was steady but unspectacular. Then it was Shedeur's turn. The pocket collapsed, and instead of panicking, he rolled left, waved a receiver deep, and launched a crossbody dime that landed perfectly in stride for a touchdown. The crowd erupted. Even Jets players shook their heads. After practice, Flacco pulled Torres aside. Kid, you got the tools. But Shedeur's got the juice. You're not competing against him. You're competing against yourself. Figure that out, and you'll stick in this league. Torres nodded, humbled. Chapter 6: Brotherhood and Rivalry. Over time, the tension softened into something more productive. One late night in the facility, Gabriel, Shedeur, and Torres found themselves watching film together. Gabriel explained how to manipulate safeties with his eyes. Shedeur broke down his pre-snap reads, how he identified blitz packages. Torres asked questions, soaking it in. Look, Shedeur said, we all want the job. But the truth is, if one of us succeeds, it makes the rest of us look better. Cleveland needs hope. If that's me, if that's Dillon, if that's you, Torres, it doesn't matter. We just can't let this city down. Gabriel nodded. Facts. Torres grinned. Then let's push each other until somebody forces Stefanski's hand. Chapter 7: Preseason Spotlight. The Browns' first preseason game arrived. Flacco started, but all eyes were on the rookies. Shedeur's drive. He orchestrated a crisp 12-play march down the field, finishing with a perfectly timed fade for a touchdown. The crowd chanted his name. Gabriel's drive. Cool and efficient, he ran Stefanski's scheme to perfection, hitting checkdowns and sustaining drives. No flash, but all substance. Torres' drive. His first pass was a laser, right into the hands of a linebacker. But instead of folding, he rebounded with a breathtaking 68-yard touchdown strike that showcased his arm talent. The stadium buzzed. The Browns suddenly had 3 quarterbacks worth talking about. Chapter 8: The Dilemma. When the dust settled, the Browns faced a problem most franchises envied: too many intriguing quarterbacks. Stefanski addressed the media carefully. We're excited about what we've seen from Shedeur, Dillon, and Adrian. Each brings something unique. The competition will continue. Behind the scenes, though, debates raged. Flacco was the present. Shedeur had the star power. Gabriel had the polish. Torres had the upside. No matter what decision they made, the Browns knew one thing for certain. Their quarterback room, once mocked as unstable, had become the beating heart of their franchise. Epilogue: Seeds of the Future. In the weeks that followed, the 3 young quarterbacks grew into unlikely brothers. They competed, argued, pushed each other, but also supported one another. Cleveland fans embraced it. Jerseys with Sanders, Gabriel, and even Torres began popping up in the stands. The Browns, for once, weren't defined by instability at quarterback. Instead, they were defined by potential.